Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Ham Radio for Non-Techies, where we try to simplify the ham radio hobby to get you to study for and pass your exams and get you on the air as quickly as possible. Today's video is from a viewer comment that I got recently, just a couple minutes ago. I want to shoot it and get it up here for him, but I think other people could benefit from it. And he was asking about the mount that I was using and the antenna I'm using for my truck to have my FTM 400 XDR hooked up in there. So I wanted to quickly go over what I did and why I chose the configuration that I did. So let's pop over to the other camera. So I went with a diamond mount, a lip mount, and I went with a diamond antenna, which is pretty decently tall. But what's cool about the antenna is you can lift it up and bend it over like that if you're going into like a parking garage or any place that has really low clearance. So it's a really cool little setup, and that mag mount is not going anywhere. It's been it's been about a year now. It's been about a year. And this thing is still rock solid on here. It's not going anywhere. But you have options to, you have different ways to adjust this thing so it sits straight up or however you want it sitting on your vehicle. Other reason why I went with this over a mag mount is look at the size of this cable that's on here. That's the coax coming off of this mount going into the truck. Really, really small and very easy to route. Now I know this doesn't look the greatest here, and that's a little sacrifice I made, but I don't really care. This looks good for me. But this was very easy to route through the vehicle. And if I open the door here, you'll be able to see, here's the mag mount here, and it just clips in. I got this little bar to actually act as a ground for the vehicle. The other option is to drill and scrape away paint, which I wasn't really keen on that idea, so I went with this thing with the bar they give you. And that's been working fine. I have no problems, no issues whatsoever with this antenna mount the way that it is. But I ran the wire down. They give you little tiny clips to put down. So we run it all the way down through here. And it goes in through one of these little access ports on the side of the vehicle, and then through under the vehicle and into the radio over here. So that's how I've got that all set up. And I like that over the mag mount for this one reason. The mag mounts I don't really trust in high wind situations. I'm doing 80 miles an hour. I just don't know if that mag mount's going to come off or not, whether they say it or not. And the other thing is the coax. Like I said, this coax here is super thin. The coax you get with a mag mount most of the time is going to be a full size or full thickness coax. So that's why I went with that. So I've got the radio up under here. And you see I've got the speaker mounted right, or the second portion, or the main portion of the radio is mounted here. The problem with this is that if I have anybody sitting in the vehicle, their leg is usually covering this up, so that muffles the sound coming out of that. So to alleviate that, I ran an auxiliary cable up into a little 3-watt speaker that I got on Amazon for like 15 bucks. Just look up external speaker. They're not that expensive. Get the one that has the best amount of ratings on it and the best reviews. You should be good to go. The other thing I wanted to show you in here is the mount that I have for the actual radio head, which is this here. And I've talked about this before on the channel when I was talking about the mobile rigs. This is like 29 bucks. I forgot the guy who makes them, but it mounts right down here to the passenger side seat bolt. You just bolt it down nice and firm. Don't want to over tighten it, so you don't want to break that thing. And you got the stiff mount here that you can actually run. I didn't do it with mine, but you can actually run the cable down inside of this to hide it even further to keep it as clean as possible. But I'm not going into Auto Magazine here to show off my vehicle, so I don't really care about how many cables. It got really messy, it'd be one thing, but this holds the head mount of the FTM 400 just fine. So let's pop over to the other side of the car and I'll show you the other side. Okay, so viewing this from this side of the vehicle, like I said, you have this mount here, and it comes with a way to mount your mic. Keeps it all nice and handy. And when I'm sitting in the vehicle, I can actually orient this however I want. This whole thing rotates and swivels without messing with how you have this thing bent. This is very stiff. The thing coming up here is very, very stiff. So this makes it a lot easier for me to just be able to move it around where I need it so I can see it, maybe adjust for sunlight coming in the vehicle, stuff like that. That makes it a lot easier for me. Now I've got these cables on the other side for the base of this radio running under the vehicle and going into this fuse box. And the fuse box here, you can see here I got the stuff for the VHF radio, but I got extra ones here. I can put other things in later on if I choose to do so. And these cables all run back through the firewall and into the engine compartment and go right to the radio with more fuses. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to quickly go over the equipment, how I've got it kind of set up. Of course, it's going to be different for every vehicle, but a lot of things will probably be similar. So if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is what I do full time. I try to bring you guys value with ham radio and bring out new ideas and new products and reviews and new how-to stuff. So if you like that, please consider subscribing. It helps me out, helps out the channel. And until then, guys, this is Ham Radio for Non-Techies, and we are clear.